And again, that's part of the leader's role of educating the broader organization of like, hey, sometimes the best thing to do is kill something quick and get on to the next thing. It doesn't mean we were wrong. It meant we got new information that led to a different decision. And that's what learning is.
And even though I pushed you on like, is this just all soft skills? I think
Yeah.
we all know, and I think you make the point that there is actually some incredibly disciplined governance that
Yes.
is really critical as an innovation leader, right? Like
Yes.
you need to communicate, you need to protect, but you also need to prioritize. You need to make sure that you're sticking to your prioritize. Can you just talk to me about some of the like sort of like high discipline, don't go off the rails governance that you articulate in the book that you think leaders should have in mind?
Yeah. One of the most powerful tools I've seen, and I use it in with every client I work with, is what I call the innovation playground. And it defines where you can do the innovation work and the exploring. Because so often people are like, no, we don't want to constrain innovation. It's blue sky, it's white piece of paper, pick your color, pick your noun. And all of that takes time and resources. And so if people can explore anything, odds are they're going to be exploring things that you're not willing to fund, that aren't aligned with the strategy or the priorities. And that's waste.
Yeah.
So very early on, you set up a playground around, okay, here are, elements of our business, gross profit margin, customers we serve. You can come up with any dimensions. And then you say, all right, what's desirable? Kind of think of that as like the swing set on the playground. Like if we do something in this space, yes, it's easy, it's lined, it's obvious, fantastic. Then what is discussable? You think of this as kind of like, the open field next to playgrounds where you kind of have to make your own fun. And those are the things where like, yeah, maybe like I'd be open to that. And then there's the forbidden, kind of the road. You don't want to go play in the road. And those are the things that just, they make your stomach clench. You're like, this would never be agreed to. We would never do that. And get really clear about those things. And one, it's important to note that the stuff that is out of bounds, it doesn't mean that you will never do it. It just means that you need to have a really serious discussion backed by a good amount of data in order to do it. You don't do it lightly.
Yeah.
And that simple tool of just outlining, here are the boundaries that we're going to work in, it can help you, I hate to say this, it can help you prioritize projects, which is good. It can help you kill projects.
Yep.
Which is so hard to do, but it's like pruning flowers or a tree. Like you have to cut off the dead stuff so that the whole thing can thrive. And
Yeah.
that innovation playground helps you do it without it seeming like it's personal, like the whim of a manager.
I think that's actually a very important point without making it seem like it's personal or, opaque in decision making, because yeah, killing off projects is hard, but it is actually so important. I mean, this is a conversation I have with entrepreneurs all the time, right? Entrepreneurs who are startups and are, maybe struggling. They feel like they're swimming, against the current. And sometimes you're going to swim against the current for a while, but at some point you need to realize that if you it's just draining your energy, and you could string this thing along for years and suck out your life force, and you're going to just be totally burnt out instead of re-energized for the next thing. And I think it's similar. Like I hear you saying something very similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to be able to define the boundaries, be able to say, okay, this isn't working, it's out of bounds, et cetera, so that you can kill it, so that you can refocus the team's energy and resources, which are finite, on the things that are going to work.
Right.
And that does take discipline.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard.
It's actually really hard. I mean, okay, so I mean, you talk about you talk about how hard it is to justify killing something sometimes, but I got to tell you, like in my experience, it's actually harder to actually make the decision. like, this isn't working, let's kill it. Like that actually
Yes.
is really hard for people.
Oh, it's so hard because it's so much a part of you, right? Like you've sunk yourself into it. And, in a big organization, you've been talking about it. And if all of a sudden, after talking about it for 4 months and telling the story about how great it is, you're like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. Like you just naturally worry about, like, are people going to think I'm an idiot? Are people going to think that, like, I've been lying to them? Like you get
Well,
into this
did I
headspace.
waste my life?
Right.
Like,
And
yeah.
so you're like, no, I will make this work. And again, that's part of the leader's role of educating the broader organization of like, hey, sometimes the best thing to do is kill something quick and get on to the next thing. It doesn't mean we were wrong. It meant we got new information that led to a different decision. And that's what learning is.
Well, Robyn, there are so many nuggets of wisdom, but also a really practical playbook to follow in this book. It's definitely got my recommendation.